Well, here we are. Glad you're back. Welcome to Comfort Food for Thought. I'm your host, Chris James, and through the magic of technology, we can be together here on the Jersey Shore in historic Asbury Park. So come sit, stay a while. I'm glad you're here. We'll face this day together. We're going to delve into the metaphysical and search for spiritual answers to life's questions and challenges. You might not find all the answers, but who knows? Maybe we can find the one you need today. Let's see how it goes. So how are you today, my friend? How's your heart? Well, if it's still beating, the journey isn't over. Every time we wake up in the morning, we're blessed with another day, another chance, another opportunity to find our joy and our peace. Every day we take another step on our spiritual journey. Well, in any case, I hope everything's good where you are and you're feeling good about life, and even more important, feeling good about yourself. Now, last time we were talking about the idea that we're each unique and we're each going to find our happiness in our own unique way. So you still working on the happy book? Keep at it. Remember, what brings you joy is part of you. It can never be lost. Things made out of love are eternal, and through them, we feel loved. When we're happy, we love our life, we love ourselves, we love being ourselves. Now, in the wise words of Miss Whitney Houston, Whitney says, learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. I'm not going to sing it. You don't want to hear that. Remember that song? That's a good one, right? Anyway, this idea is more than just a good pop song. Learning to love yourself is really the basis for having a happy and healthy life. I know many of us are taught not to love ourselves too much. We're taught, don't be conceited, don't be self-centered, don't be full of yourself, right? Yeah, it's a tricky thing. We're not sure if it's okay to love ourselves. We often develop a deep-seated fear that it's actually not okay, and that if we love ourselves, then no one else will. Have you ever had somebody make you feel that way? Someone who only loves you when you're down? Oh, we all know somebody like that, right? They love you when things are going wrong and they can feel needed or superior. But when you're happy, healthy, successful, and content with yourself, yeah, they're not so interested, right? These folks definitely wouldn't want to read your happy book. No, they'd be a lot more interested in your sad book or your scared book, or maybe an accounting of all your ailments or failures in life, all your heartbreaks. This is no good. We don't want to be defined by what's not going right. We all have our challenges, trust me. Some of them are really, really difficult, but you don't want to be defined by them. You don't want to define yourself by them. You don't want people to stand up at your funeral and say, what I remember about the dearly departed was they were always miserable. They were always complaining. They found no joy in life, and they didn't like themselves very much. Can you imagine saying that at a funeral? Probably wouldn't go over too well. But we know people like this, right? And look, we all deal with this kind of thing to some degree. We learn at a young age that we get love and attention when we're down, when we're afraid, when we're sick or hurt or upset. We learn that we can bond and build intimacy with other people through sharing our frustrations and complaining about the same things. We learn that being down on ourselves is a safe place. Because come on, who would kick somebody when they're down, right? Who would do that? See where I'm going? See what happens here? We get into this habit of dimming our own light. We get afraid to love life for ourselves too much. We start to think that in order to be loved and accepted, we need to sacrifice our own happiness. Oh, this is a trap, my friend. This is a deal with the devil. Don't do it. If someone's making you dim your light, or if you're dimming it yourself in order to be accepted or loved, you have to be careful. This is dangerous ground. I don't know if you can really even call that love. A person that only loves you when you're down, they have problems of their own. And you're paying a very, very high price for their love and their attention. There's some fine print in the contract there. Terms and conditions apply, because what you're giving up, it's no small thing. It's your self-esteem. And self-esteem, it's literally the foundation of happiness and success in life. It's essential. It's the key. And believe me, if you don't love yourself, being loved by other people isn't going to fix it. That's not going to do it. You can get all the likes on social media you want. It's never going to be enough. You can get all the compliments in the world, but it's not going to mean a thing unless you believe them yourself, right? Think about that. I'll tell you something. When you don't love yourself, other people have a hard time loving you. And I'll tell you why. Because how you treat yourself is how people expect you'll treat them. The degree of love you have for yourself and your life is the degree of love you have to give. Make sense? So if you treat yourself bad or think badly of yourself, what do you think's going to happen? How do you think people are going to see you? How's that going to go? Not too good. No. And what's more, how you treat yourself is how people are going to treat you. Every day, you let people know your worth by how you treat yourself. So this is important. You want to treat yourself good. You want to listen to Whitney. The most important kind of love is loving yourself. And I'm not talking about being self-centered or braggy or boastful. That stuff's, that's insecurity. I'm talking about a quiet contentment, a joy, and enthusiasm in being yourself. This is part of our inner beauty. You could be the most physically attractive person in the world, but if you don't think well of yourself, it doesn't matter. I knew a young lady once, a girl I used to work with at a record store in my youth. Oh, she was beautiful. Beautiful, funny, smart, interesting. Every guy who came in the shop, they fell in love with her. Every guy who worked at the shop fell in love with her. They did. But she had a fatal flaw. She did not love herself. And you could see it right away. If you spent even a little time with her, it was so obvious. And it was sad because she was one of those people. She always had guys asking her out. But after a date or two, it was always the same story. They wouldn't call, they'd just disappear. A few would hang in there for a little while, but eventually it'd be the same thing. They'd tell her, oh, I'm not ready for anything serious. I need to find myself. It's not you, it's me. We all know that story, right? So when we don't love ourselves, it's almost impossible for others to love us or to count on us. In the case of my beautiful friend at the record shop, she didn't love or nurture herself. So potential suitors, they didn't trust her to be loving or nurturing or happy for that matter. And taking it even farther, they didn't trust her in long-term stuff like being the mother of children or being a partner in life. Now, I know some of you ladies were taught that boys only think about one thing, but I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. We think about this other stuff too, more than you realize. And look, this goes for everybody, no matter what gender you are. If you think badly of yourself, if you treat yourself as if you're worthless, if you're self-abusive and unhappy, what message does that send? People aren't going to trust you to be there for them, in either good times or bad, because you're not there for yourself. And the sad thing is, most people, they think how they feel about themselves is a secret. They think it's invisible and doesn't affect anything. They think other people don't see it. But let me tell you something. They do. Oh, they do. It's as plain as day. So I think you know what I'm saying here. How you feel about yourself is critical in your relationships with other people. I'm not just talking about romantic relationships here either. It affects all your relationships at work, with your friends, your family, and most important relationship of all, your relationship with yourself, between you and you. Gotta like yourself. And hey, listen. This is a struggle for all of us. You're not alone. Everybody has this up and down relationship with themselves. It's the nature of life. We all judge ourselves. But we're on a spiritual journey here. We're going forward. Come on, let's get on with it. Nobody's perfect. Let's keep a sense of humor. Gotta have a sense of humor. You're here for a reason. I want you to see yourself as the amazing person, the amazing soul that you are. And you're on an amazing journey. I want to see you get everything you want. I want to see all your dreams come true. And the first step, strange as it sounds, is liking yourself. Self-esteem. Without that, it's going to be a rough road. Now, I know self-love, it sounds like kind of a funny route to take towards getting the things that we want. I know. But stick with me here. Like I said, this is a critical part of the foundation. Love, intimacy, success, peace. They all need a firm foundation of self-esteem and accepting yourself as you are. Think about that. It's really important. And now there's a trap in here. There's a pitfall. Those things we're after our aspirations, our goals, a lot of times we make them conditions for liking ourselves. We withhold love from ourselves. And we tell ourselves we're only worthy of it if we achieve that success, if we get that promotion, lose that weight, win the love of that person. Right? Do you do that? I've done it. Trust me. Doesn't lead anywhere good. I've done it. And this is where it gets tricky, because we think this thing we're chasing is the answer, when what we're really after is self-esteem. We want to like ourselves. We want to be proud of ourselves. But we're putting conditions on it. We're putting fine print in the contract. Oh, and let me tell you, we all do it. I did it. I went on quest after quest, chasing after what I believed was the Holy Grail, what I believed was the answer to my own happiness. I chased after all kinds of things. And when I look back now, and I think about all the time, all the effort, all the dreaming and scheming, all the endless labor, all the despair, I realize, in the end, that it was all about my self-esteem. It was all about accepting myself as I was. But until I figured this out, I kept setting the bar higher. I'd give myself, impossible tasks in some crazy effort to prove my own worth to myself. Now think about it. Would you do that to someone you love? Would you tell someone you'll only love them if they lose 20 pounds or if they get a 10% raise in salary? Or would you tell someone you'll only love them if they win the love of some other person? No way, right? That's crazy talk. So why do we think it's okay to do it to ourselves? Huh? That's the ego at work. It's like in The Wizard of Oz, where the wizard tells Dorothy to go get the broomstick of the Witch of the West. I mean, she just wants to go home and be happy. And here's this big head telling her she has to go do some crazy thing in order to get there. See what I mean? We do this to ourselves. We put conditions on loving ourselves. No good. So let's think about this. Let's see if there's another way. Let's open our eyes. Let's wake up. I'll tell you something. You're 100% worthy of love right now, right this minute, just as you are. I don't care what you've done, what you haven't done. That stuff doesn't matter. You're a fellow traveler on this journey through life. And no matter where you are in your journey, you're deserving of respect, compassion, and love. So give that to yourself, even if no one else does. Life's hard and it requires a lot of courage sometimes. You can be proud of yourself for that. Like I always say, you're here for a reason. No one can judge you or your life but you. So be kind, be gentle with yourself. Don't judge harshly. Have a sense of humor, come on. All right, so I want you to do something nice for yourself today. Do something that makes you feel good about yourself. Give yourself a break from all that stuff you're working so hard on, just for a little while. I want you to try and find peace on the inside. It's there. If you can, try and spend some time today, even if it's just a few minutes. Spend some time alone today. Take time to be solitary, peaceful. Think about nothing, just for a few minutes. You'd be surprised at how good that feels. When you quiet down that judgmental voice in your head, you'll think better of yourself. You'll be kinder to yourself, and that's a good thing. Now I'm going to give you another little piece of homework here. Especially if loving yourself is a struggle for you, I really want you to do this. Go find a picture of yourself when you were a little kid. Put it where you can see it throughout your day. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I got a reason. That old picture, that's you. That's you. That innocent little kid, that's who you're beating up on and judging. That's the person that maybe you're withholding love from because they're not living up to some aspiration or standard you set. Come on now, that's not cool, right? Think about that. I really want you to do this. I want you to look into the eyes of your younger self and give them some love. Remind that kid that you're there for them now, that they're worthy. Think about it. Who's going to be there for them if you're not? Well, remember something, my friend. Deep down, you're still that person. You're still that innocent kid you started out as. Still valuable, still worthwhile, still yourself. Nothing's changed in the eyes of Spirit who created you. Keep all that in mind. All right, well, we're just about out of time here. Give some Give some thought to these things. I wouldn't be sitting here talking if I didn't think you were worth talking to. And I'm very, very grateful you're here. I'm glad you came back and listened to another episode. And we'll get back into it next time. We're going to talk more about the power of love. It's the most powerful metaphysical force there is. So I'll be looking forward to that. That'll be good stuff. Until then, be nice to yourself and to everyone else. May Spirit inspire and protect you, and may you have abiding peace and joy till we meet again. Take care of yourself, my friend. I'll be back soon.
You've been listening to Comfort Food for Thought with Chris James. For more information and links to our social media, please visit us at our website, www.comfortfoodforthought.com. Thanks for listening.